All right, everyone, welcome back. So we continue on our prospect pool overviews today with the Winnipeg Jets, and I like the Jets prospect pool a lot. It has some interesting guys in it, and even though the Jets are heading in that direction where they're on that path of they're going into this unknown stage, or I guess this rebuild stage, and this should be the first year of declining, despite not really trading any guys just yet, and now they're going to try and start a new era, but really they got some solid guys here in this pool that could help out and help prevent, I guess, or stabilize that rebuild, I guess is a better word, to use for that. But regardless, we'll get started here with Chaz Lucius, a center from Lawrence, USA, 6'1", 185 pounds. And Lucius, like Marco Rossi, as we talked about in the last video, Lucius has gone through his steps of development stalls and has faced a lot of injuries, if we're being honest. But has played 12 games this past year with the Manitoba Moose and has 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. And Lucius has not played a lot of NHL hockey over the last 2 years, period. He really hasn't. He hasn't played a lot of hockey whatsoever because he'll get hurt. He's just been hurt the past couple of times and has not played a full, stable season since I'd say probably 2021, if we're being honest, which was a while ago, definitely. So yeah, Lucius, his development has obviously been pretty delayed, and facing all of those injuries over the past couple of years has definitely been hard for him. But I definitely think if he can get one full healthy season out of him, I think he could have a have some good success. And in those games he has played, he has looked good offensively and has put up some solid numbers. So overall, I really wouldn't be too worried about Lucius and what's going to happen. But of course, those injuries are a bit of concern, yes, but I wouldn't be too worried about it. Next up, then you got Rutger McGroarty, a center / left wing from Lincoln, USA. He's 6'1", 205 pounds. Drafted 14th overall in 2022. So a much more recent draft pick there. And 39 games played with the University of Michigan. He had 18 goals, 21 assists for 39 points. Some good numbers there with the University of Michigan. It looks like he's ready to go over to the NHL is what I've seen. And there's some good qualities there with McGroarty. He has a lot of leadership. He's a good leader. He has lots of hockey IQ and can handle the puck very well as an offensive forward. And of course, he's got the right average NHL height. He's got the good size to him too, so it's harder to knock him off the puck. So yeah, overall McGroarty looking like a much more positive prospect there as well with Winnipeg, along with Lucius. Next up then you got Colby Barlow, the player I'm most excited for there in Winnipeg's prospect pool. He's left wing from Orillia, Canada, 6'1", 194 pounds. He won the Hlinka Gretzky Gold in 22-23 with Canada. Drafted 18th overall in 2023 by Winnipeg, of course. So another more recent draft pick there. I like him a lot. And in 59 games played this past year with the Owen Sound Attack, he had 46 goals, 33 assists for 79 points. I think those are great numbers for a team like the Owen Sound Attack that wasn't the best OHL team in the world. So it's good to put up numbers like that. And he has great leadership. He has elite skating and even could be a possible draft steal depending on how he does in his development over the next couple of years. And he already looks like he is in the pros. He already has grown that beard. He already looks like he's been in the NHL for a while, and that's just some young teenager who has fully shaved, and it just looks like he's ready for the NHL overall. So yeah, Barlow's one of them I'm very excited for there for the Winnipeg Jets overall. Next up then, moving on to your defensive prospects, you got Declan Chisholm, defenseman from Bowmanville, Canada, 6'1", 190 pounds. He was drafted 150th overall in 2018. And look, the defenseman pool in Winnipeg's much more shallow than it is the offense, but there are still some gems here, and Chisholm's one of them, and he looks interesting. In 59 games played this past year with Manitoba, he had 5 goals, 38 assists for 42 points. So he looks NHL ready, and that's the thing that I've seen from a lot of sources, but there isn't a lot of room on that Jets blue line for him. There's a lot of pretty solid established Jets players, and Chisholm has really never been given that shot. And I would imagine that he's expiring this past year. I think he was re-signed, but I would imagine that they're going to give him time this year or he's going to want to go somewhere else. Because I can't imagine, he looks ready to play in the NHL, but just no Winnipeg is just not giving him time yet to play. So I would imagine Winnipeg will give him time, or he will get that time somewhere else. But regardless, Chisholm looks like an exciting defenseman there, and probably the best on Winnipeg's blue line. Next up then, Dmitry Kuzmin, a defenseman from Kosovo, Belarus. So another first prospect we're talking about there from that area of the world. 5'10", 187 pounds, so a little bit shorter there than other defensemen in the league. Drafted 82nd overall in 2021, and in 65 games this past year with the Flint Firebirds, he had 14 goals, 45 assists for 59 points. Listed as a very feisty player with some solid upside there. So yeah, I like Kuzmin a lot there as a defenseman for Winnipeg, but definitely a guy who could see some NHL time, but I would imagine he probably makes the jump over to the Manitoba Moose this coming season and plays a season there, and then we'll get some time on the NHL in 25-26 or 24-25. Somewhere around there is where I expect it to happen. But yeah, Kuzmin, I like there a lot as a good offensive defenseman. Finally, we have Thomas Milic. Milic is a goalie from New Westminster, Canada. Not really that well known because he was just drafted. 6 foot, 179 pounds. He won the U20 World Junior Gold in 22-23, so he was on that team this past year. But he was also a WHL champion in 22-23 with the Seattle Thunderbirds. Drafted 151st overall in this past year's draft by Winnipeg. And in 33 games this past year with the Thunderbirds, he had a 27-3-0 record, a 2.8 goals against average, and a .928 save percentage. We are still a long ways away before we see him make that jump to the NHL. But regardless, it is good to see a guy like Milic get drafted, a WHL champion in his draft year. And I'm not saying he'll be the next Hellebuck, but by the time he comes up, Hellebuck will more than likely be gone. So definitely, I like that a lot there, acquiring him. And he probably is the best goalie prospect in Winnipeg's system right now, unless I'm forgetting somebody. But other prospects in the pool are forward Brad Lambert, a guy who I barely didn't mention. I figured going with McGroarty, Lucius, and Barlow was good selections, but regardless, he's good too. As well as that, Nikita Chibrikov, Danny Zilligan, and Dmitry Reveshki are some other guys there out in the European world that look like good prospects too. So regardless, that is your prospect pool overview for the Winnipeg Jets. A little bit of a shorter video, but let me know your thoughts down below. Thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment down below. I really appreciate it. We got some more teams later on. I'll probably post another one tomorrow, or I might go with a rookie review. Haven't really decided yet, but regardless, thank y'all for watching. Sorry for the quality on this. The lighting's a little bit weird, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.